And good evening everybody, my name is Osa, this is Farm Sim 19 and we are on the Oldstream farm, and it looks like when we last left off I was planning to plough something. So let's have a look. Harvested, we have 4 harvested fields, 3 ready. Don't know what that field's state is, so let's do that. Oh, and the grass is ready to cut, okay. So, let us get out there and push the right buttons. Let's start this tractor. And I'm going to turn the speaker volume up a bit. This plough looks a little bit worse for wear, actually. Let's check that. No, I'm not. Oh, hang on. That's the auto load. No, that's the collection wagon. It's the harvester. I'm not seeing any Kuhn equipment, or is that Lemkin? Lemkin Dolomite 3. Okay, yeah, so it is a little bit worse for wear. Probably shouldn't have painted it red because Kuhn uses red as well. But the state of the paint is definitely worse than the Kuhn represents at this stage of wear and tear. So, again, we are back to ploughing. How are we doing for money? 57. That's not bad. I think that's a little bit more than we've got on Field Mountain. Attention to what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. So we basically have, let's say, 3 fields growing and 3 fields just harvested. Oops. Pay attention to whether it's in forward or reverse. That's me has just gone live. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I think I've been in live for a little bit longer than just now. I remember Farm Sim 17, this field used to back onto that shed over there and have trees between the shed and the field. It used to be a real pain to work. Okay, there we go. And we'll run up the field as well. Ooh. Should just be able to run rows now. I think the thing is with cultivating and ploughing, the main advantage starts when you get to about 180 horsepower. Because at that point you start being able to run 6-meter cultivators. And that does let you work the fields a little bit quicker. Now, this farm we did not start with any debt. We still don't have any, so that's good. That's the problem I had on Lawfolds with the class when I was using 6-meter equipment. Kind of difficult to turn the vehicle around in the working width of the equipment. But if you want good turn radius, you want to get a 4-wheel steer tractor like a JCB. I suppose that would be an option for a replacement for this tractor eventually. I should look that up. Considering the state of this plough, I am going to have to keep an eye on it because they do wear out very quickly. We actually let our field-mounted plough get down to 2%. A bit of an overlap there, but plough usage free. Plough usage is free. Repair bill on it's not that significant either. Better turn radius going forward than we do backwards. Yes, I have the 4000 on my FarmSim 17 Lawfolds map, and I really haven't found much of a use for it until I actually laid down a bunker of silage, and it makes a really good silage compactor. Now in real life you can turn the cab around. I'm not sure that option's available on the FarmSim 17 mod that I'm using. Oops. We managed that. But you would turn the cab around, put a blade on the back, which is now right underneath the cab because you reversed the cab, and use it to compact silage. The four-wheel steering is great for such a large tractor, but I still like the Axion 900 series that I'm using on FarmSim 17. Mainly because when I'm doing grass work I have a train of tractors, so I really can't take advantage of the Zerion's four-wheel steer, because the other tractors then can't follow it. And I tend to do the work on a follow me course, so I drive the lead tractor. And using a regular, two-wheel steer tractor, and a big one at that, does mean that the smaller tractors that are hauling the tedders or the wrappers or the balers and the windrower are guaranteed to have a better turn radius than my mowing tractor. A lot of the times I have to turn the Zerion's four-wheel steering off because it can outturn things like trailed ploughs and cultivators and seeders, and by keeping it in two-wheel steer mode it does it handles the equipment a little bit better. Now I've recently started doing that with the Claas Axion, but I just stick the mowers on the front because there is so much weight on that tractor. None of the equipment I have sort of overbalance it, unbalances it to any significant extent. Of course, I could use the Zerion for that. The whole point of the reversible cab is it positions the cab to give you a better field of view, which is why it works so well as a silage compactor, because you ordinarily you're looking out of the cab and the blade is in front of those front wheels, and you really can't see what the blade is doing, whereas if you put the cab right over the front wheels, you can. Not that I generally use a blade for silage compaction. I really haven't noticed whether it makes a difference in the rate of compaction. I have noticed that more axles makes a difference. So driving in with a tractor followed up by a 3-axle tipper, that compacts the silage very, very quickly. I don't know that anybody... Well, there's two issues. I don't know that anybody does a Zerion that has the attachments on it. And two, I don't know that anybody does the Zerion attachments either. You would need to find someone who's deeply invested in modding the Zerion and making the attachments and the points to attach it to on the tractor. Because it would be really nice to be able to use one of those as a crop sprayer. And I mean, I think, and part of the problem is that Giants don't support class at this time. And we do have the Homer Terra variant, is it? Where is it? Is it large tractors? Oh. Is it a medium tractor? I don't think it's a medium tractor. No. So I don't think it's a truck. No, it's not a truck. Okay, let's go. Company label. Homer. EFGH. This thing. With all of its rear attachments. I've got the T430. Yeah, this was available in 17 as well, and it's quite versatile because you can have the attachments on the back. The problem is it's kind of front heavy. Without an attachment on the back. I'm kind of hoping that if they do introduce class as a DLC, an official DLC for Farm Sim 19, that we do get a fully working Zerion. Because that would just be cool. And I just have one big tractor that has a sprayer. Has various other attachments that fit to it. Which effectively gives you a self-propelled sprayer. And it can still be used to do all the other tractory stuff that you need done. This field is a horrible angle. Probably means you don't want to keep it in a ploughed state for too long, because if it rains it's going to wash a lot of the topsoil away, unless you put plants in the ground with roots and stuff that'll keep it there. My favourite class model was Smetty of CMT Software, and he managed to release the 900, but then because rumour of official class DLC being added, he stopped producing the class tractors and went on to produce something different. He's working on different stuff. So chances are we're only going to get the 900 from him. I don't know of anyone else who does some seriously good quality class equipment, not that I've come across. I know is it Farmer Klein is using the Zerion on his what is it, Oakfield farm, and I keep checking his mods list to see where he got it from. But again, it doesn't seem to have the rear, the rear multifunction attach, or any of the Zerion specific modules that you can put on it. Forwards. Let's go forwards. Forwards is a good thing. Forwards is a plan. Forgetting which fields I've done that so far, or I've got to do. Yes. Yeah, I know he'd announced he was going to do that before the class in-game rumours started flying. But must admit, the last time I used a wheel loader was actually on this farm in Farm Sim 17. Because I was doing everything loose. So loose silage, loose straw, loose hay, loose grass. it made it easier to load the TMR mixer with a front loader, and I could use the front loader to compact the silage, because you got 3 silage clamps on the farm, and then had another 2 over at the BGA. I haven't investigated the BGA on this map, I must admit. I'm still kind of hoping they do a John Deere pack somewhere along the lines, so we get John Deere equipment, not just tractor and harvester, or tractors and harvesters. Now normally, or at least last time out, Farm Sim 17, where's my steering wheel at an angle? Who knows? We got the Anderson. No, we got the Kuhn DLC, which is kind of, the Anderson DLC is very similar to what we got in the Kuhn DLC. It's some useful equipment that's kind of available, but it gives you more options. Oops, no, let's go forwards, right. So yeah, the novelty items on the Kuhn DLC was the baler wrapper and the square bale wrapper, and then you got sort of cultivators and ploughs and subsoilers, which were counted as ploughs, and a couple of different small seeders. And it was a nice little pack, and I'd say the same about the Anderson pack. It's really nice, and I'm using it to quite good effect on the field mounting playthrough. And I'm kind of enjoying it. But the next release was the Big Bud release, which, you know, gave you 2 big tractors and a lot of very large equipment. Now you could do something like a John Deere pack or a class pack that comes with, at least for class, some tractors, a harvester maybe, and what else? You know, balers, mowers, windrowers, and they're all stuff you've got in the game, but they're a different brand. Or they could forego having tractors and harvesters and bring in a John Deere equipment pack. Which would give you seeders and planters and balers and all host of stuff. And then the other thing we've got to look forward to is what I tend to term the metal expansion, which, you know, titanium, gold, platinum in the past.